Hello and welcome to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. It's slightly late because I blame Keith. No, I was having a big dump this morning and it kind of interfered with everything. Enough of Antman and the Wasp. We'll cover that one later.
Okay.
Hello, Keith.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right. Shoulders playing up a little bit, but apart from that,
you should stop having all those, alone time.
Arm.
Stop having too much alone time. Okay,
it's the other arm, Keith.
Okay,
it's the other arm. If it was that arm, I'd be fine. But it's not. It's the other bloody arm.
Okay.
So I'm annoyed at that. So maybe I should do it with that arm. Maybe that's what the problem is. A couple of vicious wanks might put me right.
See, I'm implied it. You full on said it. So,
people aren't stupid, Keith. People aren't stupid. Let's just stop beating around the bush and get straight into it. So, how are we doing? You've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, I see.
Yeah, I've been striking a lot of pussies, I should say, in Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, walking around, striking every pussy I see. That joke is never going to get old. I've complete. Go on.
I've been killing world famous internet trolls in Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, okay. I've got quite hard now. I got my Defindo spell can wipe out half of the thing, and I have Avada Kedavra, which does not work on the fucking final boss. It managed to kill everything, but not quite. But it is pretty good when you meet up with Harlow, and he's just like all this, and you just go Avada Kedavra, and he's like, that was hard.
Did you? Have you opened up? Just a quick one. Did you open up your own shop?
Not yet.
I'm in the middle of opening up my own shop. I've got tons of spider fangs to sell. Typical spider and bits in my old shop.
That's a good idea.
There's trapped me in the basement with their dead husband. At the moment, the owner, or the previous owner.
Nice.
So I'm doing that. I'm just got into winter.
Nice.
So yes, more things to look forward to if you go through it.
Yeah, I'm getting through it. I mean, I'm trying to find all the moonstones at the moment so I can get a load more 2 and 3. Yeah, I know you cheated.
I didn't cheat. I just did that.
You cheated.
That was the one I didn't cheat on. It's only when I found that the guide was the guide actually worked on this one. I was like, oh, find the field pages because they're the ones that get on my tits.
You've got the flying ones as well, haven't you? So you've got to collect.
Yeah, they're a piece of piss. Those ones are.
Yeah, I see those and I grab them. I've got Hogsmeade. I've done Hogsmeade. So
I'm 10 short in Hogsmeade at the moment. I need to sort them out, but I reckon the shop will have a couple.
I've got Hogsmeade going. That's all sorted. So yeah. It's all good.
I take it you watched Picard on Friday.
I did. I watched it on Thursday and Friday. I gave it. I watched it on my Prime account so that they could get the viewing. So that it gives me that vote of confidence. It gives them the vote of confidence that people are actually watching this. So I might have sailed the 7 seas because I couldn't wait till Friday, but then I watched it again fully in 4K goodness on Prime. So
okay, all right. So let's can we talk about Antman first because I watched that this morning, so make sure we have a topic to talk about.
On a grade of 1 to 10, 10 being really, really. Not so shit, and 1 being utter shite. What was it?
4, 5.
Ooh, so that's just shit then.
It's all right. So Wakanda Forever, I would probably describe as a 4. Yeah, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I'd describe as a 5 because there were some interesting visual things they did with it. Kind of gave it just a little bit more. Thor: Love and Thunder is a 4, and this is, I can't describe whether it's like I'm trying to put them in order, and they're just all crap. So the first things first is it's an episode of Rick and Morty. So I'm not joking when I say it's an episode of Rick and Morty. It is an episode of Rick and Morty. Know how Rick and Morty, they get into like massive gunfights and whatnot, and they kill loads of people, and then they usually have that aside where it's like, oh, you killed my brother, and then mate goes, you're a fly, you've got like 10,000 other brothers. That sort of shit. It's like that. The other thing too is the quantum realm has no doesn't have any like visual grounding in anything. It just seems like a lot of random crap thrown together. And the whole synthetic nature of it was awful. I did enjoy the fight at the end. This is weird. It was just a fight, straight up fist fight between Kang the Conqueror and Scott Lang. I enjoyed that out of more. Do you know why? Because it was the least synthetic thing in the entire film. Yeah, it was, and it felt like Kang was going to kick the shit out of him properly, and I was like, oh, now I'm invested. You've only taken what, an hour and 50 minutes to get me there, but now I'm invested. Yeah, for the next 10 minutes. Yeah.
Arguably, right. It's a shame this movie's so bad because Paul Rudd as Ant-Man's been quite a charismatic character. And arguably, it was one of their only characters left that Marvel fully owned. That could bring in that same charisma as the original stars, and they've completely ballsed it. And that's why, in its second week in the US cinema, it's just gone because people are saying it's shit.
There were 8 people in the cinema.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me.
At the start, there were 6 at the end.
It again. Look, Marvel's screwed at the moment, and personally, if I was Disney and I was Bob Iger, I'd be firing Kevin Feige right now because he's had enough movies. He had enough time and prep to get into the second sort of story, but he hasn't done. And this was meant to be launched. Phase 4 it was not really a commercial success. Phase 5 has kicked off with what is looking to be a Marvel flop.
It's yeah. Sorry, Chuck's just said.
Yeah.
He said he wants to take the missus to go and see Ant-Man. Yeah, I
Disney Plus it.
Disney Plus. Ironically, that's he says he's dropped. Wait, I said wait till Disney Plus. Yeah, that was my response, and then I got I dropped Disney.
Yeah,
Plus.
but you'll want that back
for a month.
Mandalorian starts this week, so you liked that show, so that's back. But yeah, I just like you. I like you with Star Wars. I checked out of Marvel a while back. I got really pissed off with Doctor Strange because it wasn't a Doctor Strange movie. It just happened to have him in it. Ever since Endgame, they've just chocked it full of politics and stupid stuff, and I'm done with it. I'm done with this politics. I'm done with a stupid thing. Keith, I think something.
Keith, before you go off into your rant, this is the one thing because like they go, oh, it's politics, and everyone goes, oh, it's always been political, blah blah blah, all this nonsense shit. It's not politics. It's moralizing.
Yes, you're right.
It's crap moralizing. If we can get that crap moralizing out of it.
Something broke in me this week, and I think it was reading that stupid story about these stupid people who decided to rewrite Roald Dahl's books. Fucking Dahl books, because ugly is offensive now. Do you know what? I'm almost tempted to go on the internet and say all the worst words and become the most offensive person in the world because I fucking hate these people. I despise these people more than real racists now. Because these people are just fucking destroying everything. And I'm done with it.
Hang on.
I'm just done with these people.
Before you go any further, you know they're doing the same James Bond, don't you?
Yes.
I found that out this morning before I went to...
I've configured the Avada curse on, as X. Every time I see one of these people, I just want to go, X. Avada.
Abracadabra.
I'm broken this week. It's broken me. I'm just so effing fed up with these people. And the other thing was that I went online because a Facebook, I keep getting Star Wars Phoenix up, and like 50% of the posts are woke stupid nonsense, and the other 50% are interesting. This video came up, right? Picard season 3. Who was the first person they interviewed? Fucking Alex Klutzman, who has absolutely fuck all to do with this, That's why it's good.
Do you know what? The word I thought you were going to say Will Wheaton.
Well, no,
That's the only person worse than Alex Kurtzman. Will Wheaton.
True. Yep, true.
Anyway, let's bring it back to Antman. Okay, so it felt like a Rick and Morty episode. Was the thing that got me, because I was watching it and it was right. So it starts off, and you got Paul Rudd, and he's doing that. Everything's fine. He's walking along, getting his coffee and everything like that. And then he gets a call from the prison. Well, he calls it prison, and his daughter's been arrested, and his daughter is obnoxious. And the thing is that gets me is that there are in-world ways of fixing this. There's a bit of dialogue where he's like, kind of, you shouldn't be doing this. Are you telling me what to do? To which he replies, no, I'm not telling you what to do. Which you should reply, yeah, I'm telling you what to do. Yeah, I'm telling you what. I don't want you to screw up like I screwed up. Yeah. So you can go, and this is the funny thing is the Hope Van Dyne character is using a corporation to help fix the world. So instead of going, why don't you go and intern with your mum and help fix the world in a constructive way that won't wind you up in prison? Yeah. No, that didn't happen. And the long story of it, she was obnoxious to her dad and whatnot. And all she had to do at the end of the conversation is, I love you too, Dad. Yeah, we're having an argument, but I know why you're having an argument. I love you too, Dad. Because the thing I liked about the Antman films was, and I told you this before, was the father-daughter relationship. That's the bit that made me go, I love that. It's his dad trying to do right for his daughter. Yeah. The first film was about that. The second film, kind of about that. But yeah, you kind of got that. That was the heart of the film, was the relationship between the two of them. And I loved that. And they kind of ruined that. The new actress who plays his daughter isn't I don't think she's a Disney actress, I think is the best way of describing her.
Yep.
Something you'd see on one of these Disney TV shows, who says that she'd been had her feet molested by some producer 15 years down the line. And trust me, that's a true story there.
I know.
I can't remember his name now, but he had a thing for feet, and Hannah Montana and some other people again didn't like that. So you got that in there. So she's like, she tries to do a speech at the end to try and encourage everyone to fight back, and it's terrible. And then there's MODOK.
Yeah, I've heard some bad.
Everyone said it was bad. I didn't know how bad it was until I actually saw it. It's not MODOK. It's Humpty fucking Dumpty, and it is Humpty Dumpty. Instead of doing the sensible thing and making it look like his face had been fucked up and mutated, and maybe he had some scarring and she had some implants and stuff. No, he's just Humpty fucking Dumpty. He's Humpty Dumpty. And do you know how he's defeated? And when I heard this, other people say this, I was like, this is bollocks. Cassie turns around and goes, don't be a dick. And he turns around and goes, I don't know what to do. And then he attacks Kang at the end and he says, I'm not a dick. I thought people were over-egging that. No, it's true. Oh my God. He looked really bad. When he first turns up, yeah, they set him up, yeah, they go, the hunter's turning up. You go, oh, this is interesting. And then they use the acronym, yeah, I can't remember whatever the acronyms, machine only designed for mental organism only designed for killing, yeah. And you're like, oh, cool. You see him turn up, he's got his faceplate down, and he looks like MODOK in the comics on the faceplate. And you've seen that picture in the in the trailer, and he comes across and it's quite badass. And the problem was if the directing was done better, you could have made it look like he was much more calculated in what he did. But it kind of just seemed like a TIE fighter turning up and just in Star Wars, not in Andor, yeah, where they are properly scary. No, Star Wars TIE fighter, where it kind of just like shoots around everyone. You've got that. You've got that. Just it's a head. Who signed off on that head, thinking that's it. We've nailed MODOK. Yeah, who thought that? Yeah, and why not? Always sounds weird. MODOK in the comics always came across, because I had the Iron Man comics, I had Iron Man comics, Spider-Man comics, Zoids comics, yeah, and Transformers comics as a kid. Yeah. Didn't have any X-Men comics or anything like that. I didn't like Iron Man, but MODOK was in there, and I preferred MODOK over fucking Fin Fang Foom, because Fin Fang Foom kept on turning up in my comics, and it's a sodding dragon fighting Iron Man. It didn't make any sense as a kid. All right? MODOK made much more sense as a kid. It's a giant-headed creature that's been welded into a chair. Sorry. just kind of went off on that.
You're allowed to rant. You're allowed to rant. Lord God, I do it enough.
But it was just crap. It was just crap. And I'm like, why? My brain is still in this like kind of. He needed like a creepy. It sounds awful. Like, you know how you have the Germans in Indiana Jones, and they always come across as like creepy borderline pedophiles. Yeah, he needed that as a voice. MODOK needed that as a voice for it to work.
The ways of making your talk.
Yeah, but he sounds small and vicious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's the guy who played in Captain America? The second was Winter Soldier. He's part of the computer. Zola. Who was the actor?
Terry.
Not Terry.
No,
it wasn't Terry. I'm sure it's not Terry.
I'm sure it is. Because he's in the one of my favorite BBC comedies, the Detectorists. I love that. They had a Christmas special which was brilliant. He's in that as one of the characters.
Toby Jones.
Toby, sorry, I knew it was a T.
Toby Jones.
Toby Jones. Yeah.
Toby Jones is annoying because he used him for fucking Zola. He would have worked better as MODOK. They ruined that because and MODOK is Darren Cross, who was pushed into the quantum realm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the thing.
Is it Toby? Is that in the movie as well?
In the movie, it's the actor Corey Stoll. Corey Stoll. Sorry.
Who was in the first movie?
Yeah, he was in the first movie. Yeah.
Okay, so it is him. Right. Okay.
So they missed a prime opportunity there because you can make that character work. Yeah, but you have to pour on a level of body horror and skin crawlingness.
You have to bring back decent writers, which Hollywood seems to have a complete lack of. And you need to start making good movies again, and Marvel doesn't seem to be capable of doing that. And whilst I hope Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is good, and I think it will be, I'm still a little dubious. The Christmas special was great. I really enjoyed that. It's the only Marvel thing other than Spider-Man 3 that I've enjoyed.
That's not Marvel, that's Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, it's Sony. That's the easy way of doing it. It's Sony, easy separation there. Because when it was crap, I separate it out, and it's nice Disney Marvel. I think so Guardians of the Galaxy is the last Marvel thing I'm looking forward to. Apart from when they have the feminist Avengers, because I'm going there to watch a car crash. Yeah. So when you know it's going to happen, it's the feminist Avengers. Yeah. You know it will happen. They set it up, but they call it A-Force or V-Force or whatever. Yeah.
What? The rumor is that they've delayed Echo and Ironheart or whatever it is, and I would be surprised if they actually do come out. Regardless of what people are saying, Marvel's in big trouble. I mean, they are in big trouble. And Iger is going to be forced to act now that Antman has done so badly at the cinema, and word of the mouth is that it is not good. And people are not going to it. And, Avatar 2, which everybody said was like, it was okay, but the story was a bit lame, blah, 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 is set to become the third highest grossing movie. How? I didn't go and see it, but apparently
I have reached the conclusion that James Cameron has sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah,
to get box office returns. I cannot explain it. Right, I love Pandora at Disney World, and it is better than any of the fucking films that have come out. It is really good. It really kind of takes you away. It's really immersive.
Apparently, Avatar is set to become one of the highest. The second one is, so look, good. Congratulations. But it should be Marvel, and it's not.
There was only Bilfer. I was going to call him Bofer then. Bilfer. It was the only person I knew who watched Avatar 2. Everybody I know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I was waiting for a download of it. But I know other people have seen it. I do know other people have seen it, but I'm waiting. Disney are in trouble, right? Star Wars, no movies in the pipeline. Not really. Nothing that anybody's excited about. The Acolyte could be good, but I suspect it won't be, and it's marred by the fact of who's making it. Like she didn't know. And you've got the other live action series coming up with Jude Law, but again, don't know if that's going to be any good. Probably not.
What the fuck is Jude Law?
There's another thing coming up in Star Wars, another live action show with Jude Law in it, and I'd forgotten about it. That's how much I'm looking forward to it. I completely forgot about it. You've got The Acolyte, which I am only slightly interested because of the actress. Weapon X in Wolverine. She is genuinely a good actress. Played Lyra in the Dark Materials trilogy.
Yeah.
She's pretty good actress. But there is nothing except Spider-Man 4 is apparently happening. So, okay, marginally excited for that. But as you said, Sony. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm looking forward to. Nothing else in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know,
No.
There's just nothing. They've got to get decent writers in. You got to get rid of Feige. It's time for him to go. He's been there too long. Get a new person in.
I think him and Victoria Alonso is the one that everyone keeps bringing up, and I keep seeing her name everywhere too. So it was annoying because firstly they set up Kang the Conqueror as the bad guy. Yeah. Now Jonathan Majors. I'm sure it's Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors, because he sounds like bloody $6 million man. He what do you call it? He was quite good in it. The problem is I saw what I was waiting for. I saw a trailer to Creed 3, which he's the bad guy in.
Mm.
Yeah, he looked fucking great in that, and I think that coloured my opinion in the film because I looked at him in Creed 3, and it's like it's this guy who's been to prison. He claims that he should have had Creed boxing career, this sort of stuff. That's an interesting character I want to know, regardless of.
Kang, right? This guy, right? He was marginally interested in Loki. I saw an inkling of what could be, right? But Kang should have turned up right at the end of Endgame. We should have had it. That should have been the stinger at the end, right? Kang the fucking Conqueror, bomb, right? Kang, that bloody stinger that you get at the end of the Wasp. That scene where, because I know about it, of all the Kangs, that should have been the Endgame scene. Right? Bullshit the Eternals because no one gave a shit about that movie. It did absolutely nothing. It did not world build. All it did was something stupid. That's why, despite how many people say it ain't getting a sequel, it is long before I suspect Disney's going to do a Warner Brothers because they can't carry on like this. We know they can't carry on like this.
I can't. I've got my fucking lights. My fill light's not working properly. I've come to the conclusion that Disney don't watch their own films. I don't think Kevin Feige watched that film. I don't think he had anything to fucking do with that film. That's why it's as bad as it is. There's no quality control.
And see on the internet, bullshit. It's not. I keep coming back to this, right? How of this minority, this hated bunch of people on the internet who've been saying all this about Marvel, Star Trek, Star Wars for years now, right? That have these massive followings now, right? How are these people a minority, and yet the studio has turned a blind eye to the fact that all of them have seen Picard season 3, right? And has turned a blind eye. Hasn't done anything about into Picard. I'm just saying they have done it all, okay? This was done on purpose and it's endorsed them. How long before Disney does the same? Because they are right about Disney. They are right. That's why
Disney will be the last company.
But Biff was right. Bodger Sugar Bear Beats, which I have no idea what that is, being Antman 3, a Marvel movie, in its second week.
I think he's talking about Cocaine Bear.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Well, okay. I've seen a trailer to that, but it's made by. What's her face? Elizabeth Banks, isn't it? Although it does look funny. It does look quite funny.
Ray Liotta's last film, apparently.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I love that. I kind of.
Things to review. What was your last film, Ray? The thing about fucking Cocaine Bear.
I kind of like that. Bodger Sugar Bear Beats. Okay, I get it now. But that film beats a fucking Marvel movie. you know, I mean, it's all telling because, like, my sister and her husband were Marvel fans. I mean, the wedding cake, he was a devious bastard, right? You had this amazing pink wedding cake, my sister's wedding cake, right? But you turn the cake around and it gets ripped apart, and then they had a Hulk, a Spider-Man, and an Iron Man layer. So they kind of like put this under the cake. So as the cake turned around, so we had like this Marvel-themed wedding cake at the back. But when you photograph it from front, it was a genius cake. But that's how much of a Marvel fan he is. He is what I would consider a normie. Hasn't seen many of these Marvel movies. Not interested. Says they're all shit. And I have to agree with him. There has not been a good one. There has not been a good one since Infinity War, with the exception of Spider-Man 3, which we're classifying as a Sony movie because they got most of the money. So, yeah. Marvel haven't got their Mickey Mouse. Their Mickey Mouse was Iron Man. They killed him off.
Yes. It's so frustrating. The best bit in the film is the punch up at the end. Yeah. So Kang and Scott Lang, toe fist to fist, yeah, despite all the kind of epic battle stuff happening down below, because it felt like there were stakes. It wasn't synthetic, yeah. The whole multiverse, quantum realm, whatever you want to call it, sorry, the quantum realm felt so synthetic. Yeah. It was so synthetic. And then there were some bits in there that just made me just go, oh God. There was the bit where, right, so Bill Murray has a cameo in it, yeah, and apparently Bill Murray was shagging Michelle Pfeiffer. So naturally, Bill Murray, being a dick that he is, because everyone knows that he's a dick, and this is why we didn't get a Ghostbusters 3, is being a dick in front of Hank Pym, yeah? Hank Pym gets his revenge on him, yeah, but it's still like kind of, dude, no, that's not what you do in a family film, yeah. They could have just, I was fucking this dude.
We know that Hollywood has no morals. They don't. Look, I am so checked out of Marvel right now. It's ridiculous, and I'm trying to show some interest because I know you went to watch it, and we've got to talk about it. But like you with Star Wars, I am finding it difficult because
I'm almost there. I have got a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 left in me, and then I'm done.
I like that. I've got a Guardians left in me.
I have no interest in any of the TV shows because they're all terrible. I watched them. I did I did like the Hawkeye one. With retooling, you could have made that a good film. With retooling and some changes here and there, you could have made that a good film. You could have made that an interesting film. But you split it up and you put your moralizing shit in there, and we got someone thinking that Echo's a good idea for a TV show.
I know it's going to be shit, but I will watch the first couple of episodes for one, and that Secret Invasion or Secret whatever it is, the one with Samuel Jackson coming back.
Jackson,
I got to watch that because Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury's back. I think it's going to be shit, and I'll probably check out halfway through. What I'm not doing is another WandaVision where I stick it to the end. I won't do that. I might watch a little bit of Loki, but again, only because
that WandaVision wasn't that fucking bad in comparison. Oh my God,
can't stand it. I think it was generally dreadful. And now we're getting a Vision TV series as well. Ooh, yay! Stop doing these goddamn Disney Plus series. Just stop it.
I would go back to putting out 2 films a year. That's it. Just 2 films a year. Leave it at that. And Star Wars, 1 film every 2 years. No TV series. Do it like that. Make it event theatre, event cinema. Yeah. Do not spend money. You can bring down your costs then. And the other thing, Hollywood, please stop hiring so many fucking executive producers.
Yeah.
I watch TV shows where there are more executive producers than there are actors on the screen.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong. You can save a lot of money by fucking shit canning the lot of them.
They don't.
You need 3.
Because
3. 1 to do the day-to-day jobs, 1 for the creative part, and 1 for the money. That's it.
What they need to do is hire Dave Filoni as overall creative control of all of Star Wars. That's the first thing you've got to do. He should be the new George. He should have overall control of it, right? That you should do that. You hire Terry Matalas, overall fucking control of Star Trek. If you don't do that, Paramount, you're morons.
Don't tease yourself, Keith. Don't.
No, I know it's not going to happen, but that's what I would do. But you've got to do that. You do that, you might have a hope at saving a few things. Look, Andor was good. I like Andor. I know some people didn't like it. I thought Andor's the best fucking live action thing that Disney's done.
It was Star Wars if the BBC were to make Star Wars.
Yeah, but it was good. And it was different, but it was good. I'm really looking forward to Jedi Survivor. Still looking forward to that. Because I really, really enjoyed that first game. I was very late to the party. But as a Star Wars fan, I really, really enjoyed that game. And I've got the PS5 version
on another note, we were cacking out. Bill for both. I'm going to call him both for these nuts. Both of these nuts. It said buffering. So I asked Chuck, and he went. I went out for chocolate milk, and it came back, and yes, you're buffering. Shit. Okay. It's probably because I put us on Twitter. That's might be probably why it's buffering. I don't normally put us on Twitter. I clicked it and went, fuck it, it can't hurt. So yeah, it's one of those things. So that's basically Antman and the Wasp. I'm going to give it 4. It gets a 4. Doctor Strange gets a 4 out of 10. This is Wakanda Forever gets a 4. What was the other one that came out? Love and Thunder gets a 4. Terrible.
I would have given that even less. A 3 at best. Love and Thunder. It was dreadful. I actually preferred Wakanda to Forever over Love and Thunder, and that's not saying much.
Seriously, I fucking hated Wakanda Forever. I think it was because I know how Namor works, and they ruined him.
Yeah, no, I hated Namor. Namor. Yeah, fuck off. Can we talk about something that's actually enjoyable now?
Okay, all right. I'll talk. Yeah, okay. We'll talk about Picard.
I really enjoyed the second episode.
Right, can I start off by talking about the end? Because that's something. Worf's entrance at the end was fucking great. I love that entrance.
Mate, they even played the music. It was that. I mean, when he turns up and you just see that fucking dagger coming in and the fucking Romulan blood go everywhere, I was like, oh yeah, we're in for something, right? The dude that was playing the Ferengi was fucking awesome. They missed a beat. Should have mentioned the rule of acquisition. Should have had a new rule. That was the one thing, small criticism I had there, that there should have been some made-up rule of acquisition. But the dude that played him is the dude that was James Cole in the 12 Monkeys TV series. Fucking awesome TV series. I loved that. I loved that. I loved Wolf's entrance. Wolf's entrance was badass. This you can tell this is competently made and competently written, because you had an entire scene, right, with Picard and Beverly. They say fuck all, yet they say so much. And that scene right there, best scene in Star Trek since normal Star Trek, because it was well written and it said it. You didn't need. They just looked at each other. Beverly, well acted. Beverly started crying. You're just like, oh, holy shit, he is his son, right? Oh shit! Now we're going to get some stuff between him and Riker. So what we've taken is a really shit plot point in Picard season 1, and now we're going to have some riff between Picard and Riker, because obviously Picard's got this new son, doesn't know how to treat him. Riker lost a son, so he's going to have one point of view. Picard's going to have another. Brilliant. We got some sort of stuff going to happen there. Dude, this is just night and fucking day different. I mean,
all right, right, Biffa, give it a chance. Anything outside this, I'm not. But give it a chance. Seriously, you'll watch that first episode and you'll go, that felt like a competent episode of TV.
The second episode is better. And from what I've been told, it just gets better, mate. The ending, the last 5 minutes of this this season, episode 2, it's just brilliant. Look, I know the damage has been done. I get it, right? But view this as something outside of everything else, and it is good. It generally is good. Right from the offset, it is balls to wall action from the beginning. Fuck me, they use a tractor beam and throw a ship at the Titan. That was just like, and the thing is, this guy knows. The thing that I like about this, the thing that none of these morons have got, even right in Strange New Worlds, they don't understand this. The ship is a fucking character, right? The ship is as important as the captain, as any other member of the fucking crew. The ship is a fucking character. That's what sets Star Trek apart. And by God, the Titan is a character. And oh my God, when that ship comes in and cuts off the fucking thing. Okay, it still looks a bit sort of bad robot-y, right? But we can forgive it for that because that was awesome.
Right. So the first thing is the name of that ship is named the Shrike. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about science fiction history, there's a book called Hyperion, and Hyperion Falls, featuring a time-traveling AI entity called the Shrike. So that ship, and it's quite spiky too, like the Romulan ship in 2009 Star Trek.
Did mention they did mention this weapon. It might be the bugs from Conspiracy. It might be those. I can see them bringing that back because that episode was left open. I'm hoping it's not, but it might be. But look, everybody says, Biffy, you've got to give this a chance.
No, he said he's seen the first episode.
Yeah, but the first episode is the weakest, apparently, of all of it. So the second episode...
I thought the first episode, I watched that and I was like, Christ, it's TV. But...
Yeah, oh no, I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. It was a good episode. The second episode is better. Wolf turning up? Awesome. Right? The Ferengi looks like a fucking Ferengi. Wolf looks like a Klingon. Looks like Wolf.
Music sounds like Star Trek music.
It's Star Trek music. Picard is not being talked to down by a woman. As soon as he fucking realizes, I love that. Play that! Admiral's orders! Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I just, okay, right? I know people are having cussing, but when they missed a beat here, right? If you're going to have an F word in it, right? You know, what's the word, Jean-Luc? He should not have gone engage. Gone, fuck you, engage. That would have been, I would have allowed that. But again, even the moment, right? It was such a small moment, right? So small, but again, so Star Trek. After all of that, and Shaw's going, oh, we're in for it now. You know, whatever happens next, it's on you. Jean-Luc puts his arm and just taps Shaw on the shoulder. You know, it's okay. I got this.
Yeah, I know it's on me. I'll make sure we get out.
What a moment. Just what a moment. You know, all of it. And Shaw, again, okay, there's a I've worked out what one of the things is in the end credit. That's Shaw's ship destroyed on the star date of War 359. So we were right about that. We were right about that link. Yeah, I've got that one. And this week, they changed it slightly. Because last week, you see NC1701A, or in Thor, they blurred it out this week. So, but no, it's not. It's not. I'm reacting. Well, it could be, but it's good.
But if you're going to copy from best.
True.
I'm
sorry. I am genuinely enjoying this because it came out of nowhere. I thought it was going to be shit. I thought it was going to be terrible, even, and then I've just been hearing these inklings, and what I have seen so far feels like Star Trek, looks like Star Trek, and if it looks and smells like Star Trek, it's probably fucking Star Trek. So it is Star Trek. This guy clearly loves Star Trek.
He gets it.
And gets it. It is night and day different from season 1 and 2. And I'm actually generally excited, and I want to see the rest of this season. I hope the execs go fuck off, You can stick your name on it, but that's all you're doing. Go and make another season of Bloody Man That Fell to Earth. Leave Terry in charge. Make Terry creative director of Star Trek. Fucking do it, and fucking do it now.
So there were certain things I like, because when you retell a story, you always do that. You set something up that you're going to use later. So they were on the I can't remember what the name of the ship was that was Beverly's and Jack's ship.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it.
Mariposa or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they were on the ship beginning with M, I think. And they were in trouble, and it was like they were like, oh shit, this, that, and the other, and then the Titan blocks them, and then they're in trouble, and that they're trying to beam Jack off the ship. Yeah, so they kept trying to beam, it wasn't working. So they put the inhibitors, because they had put the inhibitors up, and then the Titan turns up, tries to rescue. Hang on a second, tries to rescue him, and he goes, "We can't get a transporter lock," and it's like, kind of shit. We put those inhibitors up, and it was like storytelling. I remember storytelling. Do you remember storytelling?
Yeah, but you're right. But even that scene where Picard, they go, "What's she doing? What are you trying to do?" And then they start beaming her out, and then stops it. Picard goes, "That was Picard. There's the character, not a duddering old Phil. There's the fucking captain of the Enterprise doing shit, not having some fucking woman telling him he's a misogynistic old fool or fucking liberties or whatever that fucking stupid, Admiral fucking, what was it? Sheer fucking hubris. None of that bullshit. It was Picard doing what he was trained to do, and I loved it. There's so many of those little things. You're right. And then, we can't beam you out. What? Oh, yeah, those inhibitors. Bang, 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 boom, beam out. Yes, storytelling, writing competently.
And it's like the thing with Raffi too, where she was told not to go after the person, blah blah blah, and then she goes after the person, and then Worf turns up, saves her, and he says, "I told you not to engage." Yeah, and you're like, kind of it all make. I miss. That's what storytelling was to me. You have these things set up, you know where it's going. No subversion, because we haven't got a story. The subversion thing was that we didn't have a story to tell.
I knew Handler was Worf, but you were meant to. You're Auroria. Yeah. That was like, hello, Worf, right? And then Worf turning up, just slicing and dicing. Now, some people are criticizing. I don't care. That was awesome. Right?
The beheading. It should have just been straightforward, bloodless stabbing, but.
I didn't mind that. I think because it's a fucking backlift. What do you think it's going to do? I mean, I look, right. We've had backlift since Star Trek: The Next Gen, right?
I don't think it was a backlift. I'm sure it was two separate handy.
I thought it was a backlift, but even so, right? The metal sharp thing, it's going to fucking slice you up. It's a bit like the Wolverine movies. He's got fucking metal claws. What do you think he's going to do with them? Scratches the chins. He's going to stick it into them. That's what happens. I don't mind seeing that shit because it's kind of obvious.
I need to clip that. What's he going to do? He's going to stick it into them.
But that's what it is. Fucking great big knives as you fucking had. What else are you going to do?
Right. Whenever we had a barbecue, I always do my shit in Wolverine impression where I'd put a knife from one and have a fork and a spoon in the other. Yeah, it was good TV. I'm worried that it's going to send shit towards the end, but
I don't think it is. I mean, I trust these. Look, I trust Dave Cullen and these podcast guys. I quite like podcast guys. I've always quite liked. They have been right, and usually their views are similar to mine. I don't always agree with Dave Cullen. Like, I didn't mind the fucking senseless fighting. I don't mind a bit of cursing in Star Trek if it's done right. Data saying shit in Generations, it was done right. If Picard had turned around and when Nutjob had said to him, what's the word? If he'd gone, fuck you, engage, I wouldn't have minded that because it would have worked for me, right? So I don't mind. I haven't seen the cussing yet that's so egregious. That Dave Cullen finds so egregious yet, so to give my own opinion on that. But I look, the second episode was really good. The thing is, right, this is not exactly expensive, right? They're just on the ship the whole time, and yet there's more drama, more action, better writing, more Star Trek feeling than we've seen before. Because why? The ship's a character, and Shaw is like kind of Shaw starts out. They're doing exactly the same thing as they did in 12 Monkeys. The actor that plays him starts off as a dick. You love him by the end of it, and I think we're going to end up loving Shaw. And actually, I'm kind of on board for a Titan TV series if Telly Mortalis makes it with this crew. I'm up for that shit. 7, great. The only thing is, why the fuck can we just drop to the lesbian thing, which they've seemed to have done so far? There's been one reference, and that was Rafi's reference.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know he's saddled with stupid shit from season 1 and 2. I know that. I get that. But genuinely, I'm enjoying this. I shouldn't enjoy this, but it's doing exactly what the House of the Dragon did. And unlike a lot of people, if I see good TV, I'm going to say it. And I'm sorry, Picard season 3 is Star Trek. It's well written. It is good. Picard is Picard. Riker is Riker. You know, none of this wishy-washy bullshit. It's great again, and I love it.
Yeah.
I can't. I've loved it. I've watched it 3 times, and I've again really loving it. I love all the little sort of Easter eggs they're dropping in on the end credits, and you're sitting there fucking work. I love that shit. He understands geeks. He puts these little Easter eggs, and instead of fucking swearing about all the shitty politics, there's none of that shit. We're sitting on the end credits going, "Oh, what does that mean? Oh, what does that mean?" You know, that kind of thing. It's like that's what this should be about, and we should be arguing over that shit. No, you're wrong. You're an idiot. It means this. That's the shit that we should be arguing about, right? I love it. If this is the only Star Trek we get, then fuck it. I'll die a happier man than before, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so Bilfo recommends Wandering Earth 2. It's funny because it's very CCP for me.
Okay.
That's my problem. That was my problem. The first Wandering Earth. I think the first Wandering Earth was panned, being crap. So I'll keep my eye out for it. No, Data isn't in it, but it's still,
okay.
Later.
We don't know. Right. In theory, B4 still exists. In theory, Data copied his mind to him. Terry could kind of forget that shit in season 1, and he has already forgotten some stuff. We are told it's law in the trailer. I ain't convinced. That could be a red herring. It
law wasn't law in. This sounds funny. Hang on a second. Wasn't law in a drawer in season 1?
No, that was B4.
That was B4, not law in a drawer.
Yeah, no, it's not law in the drawer. It was before in the drawer. It was before in the drawer.
Before in the drawer.
Look, we know the actor is in it, so we think it's law. I still want to know how bloody Moriarty comes into this. I want to know what's not in the trailer.
So first thing, Moriarty was put in some cube somewhere, and he was on a shelf. So someone must have dug him up off of that shelf.
Well, the actor that played him has already said that it's not the same Moriarty. So I know that much. It's a different Moriarty. I still think we might see. Here's the thing, right? There is a numerous Voyager actors. So in Prodigy, you not only have January, Chakotay's in it, and it is what's his face as the Voyager.
Mate, you couldn't be bothered in the last 2 seasons of Voyager.
Yeah, but he is in this, so we might get him. I think we're getting Kira, but we could get Cisco's son. Love it if it was Cisco. I will love it if it was.
No, it would probably be Jake. Tell me what you feel about this whole thing. I've got a microphone. Talk to me.
We got to get some little Deep Space Nine stuff in there. If you bring in Janeway, bring in some Deep Space Nine, and everybody will be happy. And I think they've done that. I'm trying not to watch as many videos because I actually don't want this spoiled for me now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm desperately not to get this.
And Robert Burnett, I love you. You are. I listen to you and I agree with you when you talk about Star Trek. 100%, I agree with what you say. But I can't watch you at the moment because you keep spoiling it. Shut up. Shut up. I know you loved it. Great. I trust you. I'm loving it. Shut up, you lucky bastard, having seen it all. That's all I can say.
All right, I'm just right. So just when you sit there saying the ship's a character, All right, I'm going to go to the Expanse, yeah, and I'm going to turn around and say the best character in the Expanse wasn't the Rocinante, it was the Rocinante's PDCs. Think about how many times those PDCs saved the day or killed the bad guy. They're the heroes. They're characters on their own.
We could go even further and then talk about Farscape, and the ship was very, very definitely a character in that.
Yes.
So, but the ships are characters. This is the thing they didn't understand about Star Trek.
Let's go back just to the ship as a character, and we just talk about in other science. Like first things, the Doctor's TARDIS. Yeah, Galactica. Yeah. It's how you feel when those ships turn up. So when they had what was it? The in Battlestar Galactica, they had the New Caprica thing where they broke them out in New Caprica. When the fucking Battlestar Galactica turned up and started kicking ass and then disappeared and fell through the atmosphere, yeah, you're like, wow. And you're just looking at the Galactica. Fuck the people on board. Nothing happened, yeah. In B5, it was the what do you call it? When the White Star they were playing the past when B4 got blown up, and they went, oh, something stopped it, yeah. And it goes, what stopped it? And then you see the White Star flash through the screen, and you're like, Millennium Falcon, end of Star Wars. Come on, kid, let's blow this joint and go home. Yeah, those like hero ships.
Yes, they are. And it's something that we love. The ship is as important as the ship is a character. The best sci-fi, the sci-fi that we love, the ship is a character. The Enterprise was always a character. When the Enterprise got destroyed in Star Trek Search for Spock, we all fucking cried because it was like a part of us was dying because it was a character. It's the thing that they forgot. Picard's linked to the ship. You know, right from the fucking offset in this show, you knew Terry McTarlis got Star Trek because what did Picard say? She was, you know, it wasn't my first ship, but she was always my favorite. Thank you. I love you. I still prefer the Enterprise E, but we can argue about that later. But
I know
you get what you get what I mean. I mean, even more so in Star Trek.
Just on another note, it also works in reverse with the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like when the Borg show up, the first time they show up, you're like, Christ, this is a big, giant, horrible metallic cube thing. What's he going to do? The Shadows in B5, they had the best fucking entrance. As soon as they turn up, you're like, you're fucked. It's game over. Dude, 4 of them that can take out an entire fleet and maybe get a little bit of damage en route. And it was just seeing like Scorpius' command carrier in Farscape when you saw that thing turn up. So, crap, it's time to run. I love those kind of hero ships and villains too. They're always fantastic when you have those things. Like the Death Star, that's no moon. That's Keith's bum.
Yeah. But
that's a reference from 2000.
Yeah, that's a reference from a long time ago. But again, you know that Terry McTarlis is a sci-fi fan. You know he's a Star Trek fan because what does he do? He has that whole music thing playing with the Titan in the space dock, and he spends time and he shows the space, you know, the Titan leaving space dock. We're not looking at the bridge crew. We're looking at this gorgeous fucking ship coming out of space dock, and we're getting all the fucking member berries, and we do not care. Is it, you know, it's fan service. I get it, and I don't give a shit because we need fucking fan service. Fuck off subverting expectations. Give the fucking fans what they want because by God, you've starved them of it for the last few years. And Terry McTarlis, bomb, fucking Titan. Not doing the Enterprise, great. You didn't need to do the Enterprise, right? But this ship, it looks a bit like the Enterprise, and yet there it is leaving space dock, and space dock looks like space dock, and the music is the fucking music. And I don't give a shit that they've done it before because I loved it.
No, I do love my hero ships.
Yeah,
and
you're right about
it. You're right about the PDCs and Rocinante.
Yeah, you're right, but you're definitely fucking right about those. But then the PDCs remind me of the fucking guns in bloody Aliens movie, which you always remind me of. And yeah, they're kind of cool. The Sentry guns. But Biff is right. It's a fucking blue box with police written on it, and yet it's still the most iconic thing, and I love it. I love it. I still do. I don't call them police boxes in Edinburgh. In Glasgow, they're TARDISes. And you know,
they're not in Scotland. They're TARDISes because everyone does a poo in them.
Yeah, but even my niece doesn't call them. She goes, "That's a TARDIS. It's not a police box. That's a TARDIS."
Yeah, I do. I love a hero ship in anything. It's like hero ship, villain ship. I was thinking about villain ships and thinking about the beginning of Star Wars with the Star Destroyer that goes overhead, and then it instantly takes me to Spaceballs, where you have the giant Spaceball 1 fly overhead, and it just goes on and on.
Yeah, that was genius.
Fantastic.
That was genius.
And then you've got Lone Stars, Winnebago with wings.
Again, genius. But it was a hero ship. You know, we take the piss, and it was a piss take, but it was a hero ship, and it's still iconic. Red Dwarf, fucking Starbug, right? Again, characters in the movie. Red Dwarf, obviously. You know, but and Starbug, the pair of them. You know, and I never get that Starbug flying up a rat's ass. Brilliant scene with a great one-liner.
Do you want to hear something funny? Do you know why in season, I think it's 5? Yeah, season 5, they ditched Red Dwarf?
Couldn't afford the sets.
No. They accidentally broke the model.
Even better. That's so Red Dwarf, it's not true. So Red Dwarf, it's not true. But again, it's something that these people who are making Picard season 1, you know, Klutzman just does not understand, and it is fundamental to a good TV series, a good sci-fi movie, a good TV series. The ships are characters. Copying and pasting like they did in Picard season 1, it did nothing, right? You know, we've had Picard. Picard is some stupid non-Federation ship, right? We wanted a fucking Federation ship. We didn't need the whole crew in season 1. That's fine, but we needed Picard on a Federation ship. No, what do? We have the first episode of Picard season 2. It suckers you in because you see a new Excelsior class, you see this new Stargazer class. They finally understand that we like the ships, and then it's all this shit in LA back in the thing. And again, Picard being talked down to by a bunch of women. Finally, we've got Picard being Picard on the bridge of a fucking starship, right? And in one scene, it was there. Everything was what I needed. You know, Admiral's orders, engage.
One thing I like is it gets close to talking down, but whenever they do that, it's like kind of, you're out of line. Yeah, you're out of line. Don't do that. That's okay, fair enough. But it's I don't know. I'm annoyed because again, this is an aberration, Keith. Yeah, you know this is an anomaly. This will happen, and then it'll be gone, and then we'll be back to shit.
Some people brought up 7 of 9 talking down to him. 7 did the same thing to other people in Voyager as well. And when she turns around, she says, "I'm not talking to him as a captain. I'm talking to him as a friend." Okay, fair enough. You know, what the fuck are you guys doing here? I'll knock you on your ass. That's fair. What 7 did was fair. And Riker went to defend him, which is what Riker would have done. And Picard went, no, it's okay. That wasn't talking down. Yeah. That was 7 talking to him as a friend, you know?
She was talking to him. She sounded exacerbated. The whole situation just got to her. And it was his lovely comeback is like kind of, I'm getting shit orders. I'm having to disobey what I feel, blah, 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 blah. Turns around and goes, when you find out, you tell me, because I never found out. It's life. Exactly. I love that, because it was like so many things where people blame, it's X, it's ism. Something isms cause me. No, mate, it's life. Life is hard. It's just the way things are.
Exactly.
So we have waxed quite. I suppose we've gone that. Should we talk about Harry Potter briefly? You completed it.
I've completed the main set of missions, so I've done the main quest, but there's loads of shit because now I've unlocked the arenas, although I haven't found them yet. I've got to get to level 34 to get the House Cup mission 34? To get that. Yeah, you got to get to 34. Yeah, but you've been doing it a different way. I've been doing a mixture of both.
I've been doing the OCD playthrough, going for 100% on my first attempt.
I'm tempted to play a different, create another character and play through it again at some point, but there's a lot more to do. There is a shitload more to do. Just because you complete, there's loads of side missions still to do. Natty's mission finishing off is really good, actually. Really enjoyed Natty's final mission.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I liked her, and then I did the mission with her in the castle when you rescue the 2 hippogriffs, and I didn't like her for that. She got my tits. It was just like, shut up. We've got people to rescue.
But you got Poppy, you know. She's a bit filth. I think Poppy's a bit filth. But you know what they say about these catgirls.
I'm 15-year-olds, Keith, you dirty old man.
I'm joking slightly. I remember, but Poppy's mission I'm currently on now. There is one thing which the Wokies haven't cottoned onto, probably because they're still boycotting the game. You meet a centaur, right? The centaur is clearly voiced by a black man, right? Yet the skin is white.
Okay.
And I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to come. Yes.
I just right. Okay, the goblins, yeah. Now, when they said that, I'll go to Biff's comment in a second. When they talked about the goblins in Harry Potter, there is an anti-Semitic picture called like the Merchant or something, and they kind of look like the Merchant, and that is as close as I got to the goblins. Because if you just look at them as bankers, yeah, bankers are wankers, yeah, and goblins are little shits. So it fitted, yeah. Goblins like hoarding gold, along with dragons. It should have been a goblin/dragon sort of bank, yeah. Goblin owned, dragon patrolled, that sort of thing, yeah. And the orc thing. Did you hear about the orc thing a while back?
I'm ignoring it because it's so stupid and pathetic. These people see racism, sexism, misogyny, anti-Semitism in everything these days. I'm fed up of people's offence. I don't care.
This is the thing that gets me. Right, hang on a second. So they use the term dog whistle. Yeah? So they dog whistle their own people so they know that they're being secret racists, blah, blah, blah. If it's a dog whistle and only dogs can hear it, ergo only racists can hear it, how come you can hear it? Aren't you one?
This is why these people are fascists. But I have now got to the point where I've lost the will giving a shit that I offend anybody. I just don't care. I made a comment yesterday, and I stand by this. It is a human right to be offended. It is, right? You have freedom of thought. You have a right to be offended. What you do not have a right to be is not offended by something, because offense is subjective. I don't give a shit if you're offended, and you shouldn't give a shit if I'm offended about certain things, right? And these things are just ridiculous. The word ugly in a book is offensive. Fuck off. Just fuck off.
We'll go there in a second. So I had a similar thing at work where I described this tool to a room full of men as a needy girlfriend, because it always wants you to do something. It's always asking you to do something, always asking you to change something, always asking you to fix something. And I was talking to this one person, so no, you can't do that. And I went, why? And I goes, that would be offensive. It was a woman in the room because my audience was men. My eyes work, I can see the men.
I don't care.
And it was just offensive. Like, no. And it was funny because it was shut her down. She made her really fucking nervous because it was like, no. The answer is no. And that's the correct response to when anyone does this. The answer is no.
Yep. And I've taken the same stance with HR. Somebody said, what you said sounded slightly offensive. I said, don't give a fuck. And she said, you can't use that language. I said, I can, and I am. I do not give a fuck.
I'd see if it would have been me, it was, I would say, I purposely made a point to make the X person feel uncomfortable so they understood what was going on. I rarely do it, but when I do,
you're right. I something broke. This roll down thing broke me. Now, I mean, it's got to the point now where I just, if somebody even argues with me over this, I will tell around and say, just fuck off. Right?
You've just reminded me. I need to buy. Hang on a second. I need to buy all the Route stories before they fucking change.
No, they're not. They've backed down because there are still sensible people in this country, apparently. So
right, hang on a second. Can I put my skeptical? I think it was to make some money thing, right? I think that the rights to Roald Dahl stories are running out because he's been dead for a good chunk of time, and because they're running out, if they change them, then they get to renew the copyright. Yeah. Like what Disney do with the live action versions of the films that they did, the cartoon films they did in the 90s.
This is what people say, but Gareth, in one way, I wish that is true, but I speak to people, I see people commenting on things, and I think, no, people are beginning to think this way. The younger generation now are told they shouldn't be able to be offended by anything. Everyone's a winner. They're not taught about losing things anymore. My nieces, everyone in their class is a winner. No, they're not. There are winners and there are losers. That's why we have sports day. People lose. That's what happens in real life.
I can safely say that's not the same. Not what happened with my son.
Your son's in a good school.
He was crap at volleyball, and he told me he hated it because he was crap. Because every time the ball came across, his instinct was to catch it, and he'd catch it and go, "Oh shit!" Yeah,
but you can, it's a necessary lesson in life, and it's not being taught anymore. We are destroying the next generation. We are destroying our race through stupidity. We should be worried about Russia firing a nuclear bomb, but that's not what's going to fucking kill us. It's going to be these morons.
It won't be from outside. It will be from within.
God,
so I'll do that.
And it just broke me this week. But look, Picard season 3 gave me happiness, and that doesn't happen very often. So Picard season 3 gave me happiness. I'm loving my new PlayStation 5. I did buy the Pro Elite, whatever it is, controller. Not that I'm an elite gamer, because I'm not. But there are things that bothered me in that particular game.
Really rude then. I was going to be really rude then, because not an elite gamer, but you are fat like an elite gamer.
True. I look like an elite gamer. I look like an e-athlete. I'll give you that. I love it. I love having a PS5. I really want that bloody Star Wars game to come now. It should be coming now. And I've got to wait another 2 months. So I'm running out of stuff to play, because I'm beginning to get a bit bored of Harry Potter. Go on.
Right, before we go, there's a game, right? So there was the big hoo-ha about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Then there's a game called Atomic Heart. Yeah.
I've heard about
this. You've heard about this, yeah? Which is BioShock set in Russia, an alternative history. Yeah. I just say BioShock set in Russia. That's fine. I think Generation Zero was like kind of alternate history, with Sweden being a technological superpower. Yeah. I don't want to give money to Sweden, because I don't think they'll ever become a technological superpower. I don't want to encourage them to think that way. But I'd love the game. I appreciate the game. I won't say I love the game. I appreciate the game. I played it and got some good entertainment out of it. But this game called Atomic Heart came out, and it's on Games Pass, so I can play it without paying, which is fantastic, because I've already technically paid. And it was like, kind of, if you support this game Atomic Heart, you are supporting Russia against Ukraine. And I'm like, so the studio's been split up. They've done their damnedest to try and separate themselves out from Ukraine. They can't help where they're born. Yeah, that's the truth. They cannot help where they're born.
No, but
and this game has been in production longer than the Ukraine war has been on. It's not like it started and it's like kind of helped Russia smash the Ukraine. Because if it was that, I would say, yeah, that's probably a bit tasteless. Maybe you shouldn't play it. Yeah,
you're not on Facebook, right? But I'm on Facebook and YouTube, and I keep getting shorts that are clearly made by Russian people. These American companies who are meant to be sanctioning Russia.
Oh, dude, it's the Chinese bits that come through that bother me the most.
They're not the worst.
Yeah, I know, right? So I want to avoid using the term politics. Moralizing. It's moralizing. That's what they're doing. They're moralizing us because of this. I'm going to play. I wanted to play this game. I saw this. I went. I think it was the beginning of last year, and I went through a load of games, because I was like, last year was crap for games. Yeah. So I went through all the games that I thought might be good for next year, and this game, Atomic Heart, was on there. And along with Dark Tide, that still isn't on the bloody Xbox or PS5. Not fucking happy about that. But this game was on that list. It looked quite entertaining.
Did you ever? Yeah. Did you ever play Cyberpunk in the end?
I've started twice, and then I stopped. I need to go. I need to probably play it through because it's one of those games. Because certain games have like a hump that you need to get over. So I'll give you an example. It's got a hump. Best example is Red Dead Redemption 2. Probably a masterpiece in gaming. Yeah, one of the best games ever made. Yeah, and it has a hump where you are snowbound for ages, and then you have to rob a train before you get outside a place. I can't remember what it's called. You get actually set up camp and go outside a place, and then allowed to explore the world. It took about 3, maybe. It felt like 3 to 4 hours. It probably wasn't, but it was so long where it's doing all the tutorial things with the horses and how to track someone down, how to pull your gun out, how to rob someone, all these things that aren't necessary for the game. But I had to play that twice before I got over that hump to get into it, and it's probably the same as Cyberpunk where I have to go over the hump. And plus, they fixed it too, which I'm quite grateful for.
Is there a PS5 version
of Red Dead Redemption?
Cyberpunk, not Red Dead. I know.
Yeah, no, just buy Cyberpunk on PS4, put it in there, and you'll get a free PS5 upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do Cyberpunk, but it was one of those games with the hump. And what was the other one? I've got just fucking flick, just gone like that. I love it when your brain does that to you. I remember at the moment I hit end stream. So, no, get Red Dead Redemption, Keith. Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, but I know how big a game it is. And
get it now. It will keep you going until Star Wars comes out.
True.
I'm serious, and you'll enjoy it too. More importantly, actually, no, you'll enjoy it until you get to a certain point where something happens to a certain character, and then you'll go, well, maybe not. And it's really done really well. Probably I said my brother described it as a masterpiece game.
I'll have a look. But I'm going to do Miles Morales again because it just looks so gorgeous.
Just go Red Dead. Do Red Dead. Trust me. Do Red Dead. Just get over that snowy bit. Yeah. As soon as you get outside Strawberry, that was the name of the place. As soon as you get outside Strawberry, that's when the game kicks off. I found a serial killer in the game. Yeah, there's a bit. It's a side mission that's not listed, and I tracked down a serial killer. Fantastic! I love that because it was like I'm finding body bits under railroad tracks. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I'm tracing it down, and I found a serial killer. That was fantastic. There was a footage of one guy who was watching. He was fishing, and he saw this fish jump in a lake, and then a bird came in, grabbed the fish, went up to the tree. He's still watching it. And it starts eating the fish in the tree. The bird does. The amount of detail. We talked about the horse bollocks, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Cold or warm? With the horse bollocks? Dude. Good game. Such a good game. And on that note.
Yes.
It's time we said goodbye. So, weird. Nothing wrong with it. Hang on. No, sorry. There was one thing. Sorry, this was... Biff, I put this through and I was supposed to... WB says, more Harry Potter and new Lord of the Rings during earnings call last week. Now, Harry Potter, I think you're fine to add some more on. You've got the Cursed Child, and I'm sure you can throw some other bits in it. I know it's crap.
It reads like fan fiction. I'm sorry, Voldemort had a daughter. Please, no.
I think if they want to do something, if they want to do something, they should do the painting of Lord Voldemort. Because you know, have the paintings, and they impart their wisdom. Could you imagine a painting which is imparting its evil onto someone? Yeah, that would work. Lord of the Rings is the one that confuses me.
Yeah, what are they going to do? How? Yeah.
Unless they do a TV series and do exact adaptation of the book, pay chapter by chapter of the book.
They're apparently making more movies. They are. I don't know, because look again, Amazon, you destroyed.
But Warner Brothers, this is not Amazon. This is Warner Brothers. So one of the rumors I heard was the return of Sauron, but he died twice.
Oh dear. I knew that they were going to be doing something in Lord of the Rings because Lego just bought that amazing Rivendell kit out. I really want that. God, I want that as a Lord of the Rings fan. I don't know, but talking of an earnings call, did you hear how much Legacy has made? Jesus Christ.
$850 million.
Brilliant. I love that. I love that. Yeah, boycott worked.
Yeah. Because apparently trans people by the thousands were dying. Oh, for fuck off, would you please? Just turn around and say the following. J.K. Rowling, dick when it comes to trans. Please consider that when buying the game. And if you don't want to be a dick towards trans, please don't buy the game. And just leave it at that. That would have been fine. Yeah, but no. You kill people. Apparently that's helping trans people die. No, it's not. That's the bit that gets me. No, it's not. There are trans people playing the game and enjoying it. There's a trans person in the game crying out loud. It's so PC, the game. It is so PC.
It's ridiculously PC. It is ridiculously PC.
It's still good.
Yeah, it is good.
I'm still enjoying it.
I'm enjoying the game. I am bugged. But it still bugs me about the interior design of Hogwarts, and it does. It bugs
hang on
me.
A second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. The Great Hall. Have you been to the kitchens?
Yes, that's cool. I will give you that.
Hang on a second. Yeah. Did you notice the layout in the kitchens?
It's longer.
The layout is practically a mirror of what it is above.
Yes, I know. That's
so they put all the food on the table, and it goes. It makes more sense than it does in the bloody films because they weren't in.
No, because they had that in the thing, but in the book, that's a book thing. I like that. I mentioned that when we were talking about it. I like that they did that. I'm fed up of them putting in recognizable human or Muggle classical music everywhere because that just bugs me. It bugs me. It does.
Nothing to do with Harry Potter and everything to do with your autism.
No, it's nothing. It takes me out of it. But I do like the I love the fucking daffodils, the speaking whap 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 daffodils everywhere. I love those.
I hate those fucking.
Oh, I love them. I think they're funny. And I do like the random things that go on in the game. I like, random suits of armor having a fucking go at each other. All the pictures that move. There are great things about it. The nurse looks like.
Did you find the Death Day celebration?
Yes,
that was in the book from the third. I think it was the third one where they go off to Nearly Headless Nick, where he's trying to join the Headless Hunt, but they won't.
I think it is the third one. Yeah.
I love that because I went down there and went, not many people know what this is relation to. But because
I like the fact there's a lot of book Easter eggs in there. But the closest thing that they've got to what the movies look like is the bloody the hospital wing. That's the closest thing. That looks precisely like it does in the movies, size-wise, everything. But there are other things. It's the library as well, Gaff. It's too grandiose. It's too big. It's not a school library. It looks like the Great British Library. It's ridiculously too oversized, and yet the Great Hall is undersized.
Whoa! Hang on a second. It wasn't the library that was the problem. It was the undersection of the library, which is the forbidden thing, being 4 times the size of the actual library was the thing I would expect to have a problem with.
But again, that's even. I have a problem with it, but it's because it's part of the mission in the game. I know the technical argument behind that, but that bothers me. There's numerous things about inside Hogwarts. Outside of Hogwarts, get it, looks great. The sunset, the sunrise. The one thing I liked is that the decorations changed in the Great Hall. Halloween decorations changed. That's a pretty neat little touch, right? When you fucking complete the final mission and it goes from winter to summer, there is the fucking Weeping Willow, not Weeping Willow, and it made me laugh. It's like, I know this game wasn't set in the 1800s. I know this game was set in modern times, and they changed it right at the last minute. But it was too late to remove.
No, I don't think they did. I don't think they did. I think
BS.
It's the Goblin. It's the Goblin Rebellion. It was all around the Goblin Rebellion.
Yeah, I mean, the final story mission doesn't really finish in a satisfying way. The story is not that great. The game is good. The game is good, but the story is.
Have you seen Professor Binns?
Yes. Now that was a nice. I haven't
seen Professor Binns.
Yeah, I've had a history of magic class, and it was really boring. And it's meant to be. That's the point of it. You have to go round finding various guidebook scroll bits of like statues and everything, and then he gives you this whole fucking boring ass lecture about each one of them. And I was going, okay, I like this. This is genius. This is a really boring mission which I can't get out of, and that's exactly what it's designed at. Yes, I've met.
Everybody hate
fucking genius.
Everybody hate history in Hogwarts.
Yeah, it was genius. Genius. No, I have seen that.
What was it? It was so boring. He died and didn't realize that he died.
Genuinely,
I love that. That was so great. I heard that in the book. I was like, oh, that sounds very British.
But
kind of humor
the history and magic class is a hidden thing, right? You don't get guided to it. You just come across it, right? And I came across it, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And then you hit the square, and it's like the ghost starts talking about, "Oh shit, I'm in history and magic."
Okay. Right. Before you go,
anyway,
I was tempted to use the Cruciata curse on a student in the library. Ravenclaw student who gave you a quiz. Did you have the same urge?
Yes. Have you got the Imperio curse yet?
I have the Cruciatus curse.
Right, the Imperio curse tip, right? When you're on the final mission, right, you come, depending on what fucking setting you've got it on, right, you come across these 2 fucking cave trolls. Imperio works on the trolls. Comes in very, very handy. Because when you got all these fucking goblins, and there are a lot of goblins, right? You Imperio one of the trolls, he takes out the goblins. It's kind of awesome, right? And if you have Avada Kedavra, and by the way, don't tell him no one should know that fucking curse. Because if you do that, you then have to play through the whole thing again, like somebody that looks like me, vaguely, to get that fucking curse. Because again, curse comes in handy. So, yes.
Okay. On that note, I think it's time we say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, and we'll be back next week.
Bye. Blankety bang, blankety bang, blankety bang.